right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the time for Arc 3.0 is almost upon us. Actually, it's less than a week away. Now, I've already made videos on what exotics you need to get ready and just all around how to prep for Season 18, but in this video, we're going to be going over what legendary weapons and their god rolls you should have on lock when the new season drops. That's right, I'm talking the top must-have god rolls for Season 18 / going into Arc 3.0. Now, you all know the drill. If you're new and you enjoy the content, then feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate it, but let's get into it. So the first weapon, well, it's not really a god roll, but it kind of is. It's, I guess, like a curated roll, Salvager's Salvo. Now, Salvager's just by itself is an absolute beast, one of the best weapons in the game, etc., etc. It kind of just so happens to be an Arc weapon as well. I feel like everyone has been waiting for Arc 3.0 with the intention of pulling Salvager's Salvo out. Like I said, it's curated, so we all have the same perks. My favorite combo is Ambitious Assassin with Chain Reaction. This is normally the perk combination that everyone runs on it. It's just really, really good at ad clear and group clear. Not to mention, we also have Spike Nades in column 2, so single target damage is good no matter what perks you go with. You probably know what Salvagers is and the gameplay loop behind it, so I'm not gonna bore you by explaining it. If you don't have it, stop what you're doing and go get it from the kiosk in the tower. Next up, we have, well, another Arc GL, Forbearance. Now, I've already made an in-depth video on Forbearance. In fact, I've made videos on just about all these weapons, so I'll keep this short. Like I said, it's an Arc GL and it is acquired via Vow of the Disciple. It is craftable, meaning you don't have to deal with RNG, and it has access to enhanced perks. But if you want the adept version, then you're back at the hands of RNG because, well, that's not craftable. There's a lot of really good combos for this weapon. In my opinion, the best combo is Ambitious Assassin in column 3 and Chain Reaction in column 4. Now, you might be thinking, wait, that's the exact role Salvagers has, and yes, you're right. That perk combination is why Salvagers and Forbearance are so good. But what Forbearance has over Salvagers is its Soul Drinker Origin perk, which literally heals you as you hit enemies and then reload. You could also say it being a wave frame is also a bonus, but I feel like that's subjective and not everyone is going to like a wave frame over a lightweight point shoot release to detonate. If you don't have Forbearance, then I recommend you put your big boy pants on, find a team, and run Vow. Coming in at our next spot, we have the Hothead. The Hothead is an adaptive frame arc rocket launcher that was acquired via Nightfalls. Now, I just said was because sadly it is no longer obtainable. The last week to farm for it was a few weeks back. Now, while I'm personally not the biggest fan of rocket launchers, I just prefer other heavies, I'm not just gonna ignore how good this rocket is and how it could get even better with Arc 3.0. For the god roll, well, you got two options. If you're looking for ease of use, faster reloading, more in the mag, then I'd recommend Tracking or Field Prep, personally Tracking, in column 3 and Clown in column 4. But if you're looking to potentially swap with this weapon, or you just want that classic, reload damage combo, then look no further than Auto Loading in column 3 and Explosive Light, or Lasting, I prefer Lasting, in column 4. Hothead is a very good rocket, and even though you can't get it currently, that doesn't mean you'll never be able to get it because it'll probably become available again in the future. Also, if you're like me and just throw random stuff in your vault as you play, I highly recommend that being the first place you check just in case you got a god roll and you didn't even realize it, because like I said, these things drop from Nightfall, so if you're running a lower level one, then you could potentially had one drop for you and you just threw it in your vault, not really checking it or knowing what a good roll was. So go check your vaults. Next up, we have a weapon that used to be the #1 best primary in the entire game, the Aikilos SMG. This is probably the weapon that everyone is waiting, right up there alongside Salvagers, to see how good it's gonna be when Arc 3.0 launches. It's a 750 RPM aggressive frame Arc SMG. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really too sure where it drops from nowadays. I believe you can get it from Zur if he happens to bring it that week, or possibly from Dares during specific weeks when the rotation switches for what you can get from Dares. But if you know a better way to farm it, drop a comment below and I'll pin it for other people to see. Most people probably have a god roll though, especially if you've been playing since the end of Shadowkeep, as that's when this weapon was very, very, very popular and everyone was farming for it. Now, this weapon and the perks you can get on it were already pretty good, but what made it really good was Warmind cells. Now, Warmind cells aren't getting buffed or anything, but what people are hoping for is Arc 3.0 paired with Warmind cells being good. Like, hopefully Arc 3.0 will inadvertently aid Warmind cells. Now, even if it doesn't, like I mentioned, the weapon and its perks are still really good. The god roll for this weapon would be Subsistence in column 3 and Surrounded or Demo in column 4. There's also some other combos that are good, but the perks I just mentioned are generally regarded as the god roll. Most of you probably, like I said, have a god roll, but if not, I'd recommend you keep an eye out on Xur and the Dare's weekly rotation. Now, real quick, I do want to give an honorable mention. It's not Arc, but I still want to mention it, hence the honorable mention. And that's just because it's a very, very, very good weapon. Callus's Mini Tool. Callus's Mini Tool is a 900 RPM solar SMG that is acquired via the new Leviathan POI and the activities connected to it this season. Now, while you can hope and pray for a god roll to drop by just doing things on the Leviathan, you can also just craft it, though with how long it takes to get red borders for opulent weapons, you might just get a random god roll before you can craft the god roll. The god roll is as follows: column 3 Unrelenting or Threat Detector and column 4 Incandescent. The weapon by itself, so like without the god roll, is still good, but what makes it god tier is that incandescent perk. When you read the incandescent perk in game, it sounds like it just spreads scorch, which is true, but it kind of leaves out the fact that all the enemies killed with scorch explode, which damage the enemies surrounding that enemy. Then they start burning and exploding, and that just causes one big chain reaction. It's absolutely insane and 100% worth getting. And one of the best parts about this weapon is that you don't have to be using Solar 3.0 for incandescent to still work. Like, yes, it's better with Solar 3.0, but even without Solar, it's still great. So when Arc 3.0 launches, if you're still trying to find a good Arc weapon to use, well, you could just run this in the meantime, and it's gonna absolutely decimate essentially anything that it comes in contact with. And now finally, at the #1 spot, if you haven't played this season, then you might have absolutely no idea what this weapon is: Storm Chaser. Storm Chaser is an aggressive frame, aka 3-round burst, arc linear fusion rifle. It is attained via the new dungeon this season, Loot Pool on Screen. For the god roll, well, there's a couple. For solo play, you can't go wrong with auto loading in column 3 and Vorpal in column 4. But if you're gonna be playing with other people, even running match-made activities, Ionize in column 2, Clown in column 3, and Firing Line in column 4 is going to absolutely decimate. With this roll, you can get upwards of 9 shots in a mag, plus a 20% bonus to precision damage when you're around teammates. And with this being a 3-round burst, hitting your shots isn't that difficult, so getting that precision damage isn't gonna be hard at all. Storm Chaser is already one of the best power weapons in the game, and when Arc 3.0 launches, it's gonna be borderline broken. Like, I think Bungie knows it's gonna be broken, and that's why they haven't really done anything about Storm Chaser yet. Like, it already is kind of broken, and I feel like that they're just letting the hype build up for when Arc 3.0 launches. Now, imagine they bring back particle deconstruction next season. Oh my goodness. But those are the top must-have legendary weapons and their god rolls that you need to have ready come August 23rd. If you have a weapon, Arc or not, that you think should have made the list or been in the video, let me know down below in the comment section. This will be my last video before the new season drops, but keep an eye out on the channel come season 18, as I'm going to be pumping out videos covering all the new weapons as we do here on the channel. With all that being said, feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.